I don't have win. First of all, I'm from a minority tribe. Nothing, I'm nothing. Let them win. Then there was trouble. The whole thing scattered. So I went to my hotel room in Sierra Leone and laid down. And I said, God, if you want me to take this job, there should be no election. Just give it to me. The rest is history. Delegates came from other parts of the West African sub-region. And they said, Constitution says this is a very sacred position. No election. And overwhelmingly, I was chosen. The unqualified person in quote. So when you have jealousy and you have envy, then check yourself. Don't check others. Check yourself, because something is wrong with your relationship with God. You have misplaced ambition and calling. And that is why Saul wanted to kill David. Then one more. And I think this is a very big part that separated David from Saul. Is sensitivity to God and himself. I should not say this in public, but because we have had several people in this church say many things to me, not just one, not two, not three, not four, several, I can say this publicly. I would have said it with just one or two people. I used to give advice to people several times. You come and tell me, God told you this, God said this, I would advise. I would say, look at pros, look at cons. At least I have experience. I listen to God. And usually I'm a very, very critical person. I won't say I'm a very wise person, but I do a lot of thinking. If there's any gift I have, is that I think with the pen and the paper. So I can look at the pros and cons. If you say, oh, this is what God told me, it's the will of God, I'll say, tell me, why do you think it's the will of God? So I used to do that. But one night in the morning, that changed my whole atmosphere. I say, yes, you have wisdom, I've called you. But if someone tells you that this is what God told him to do, my dear, because of your love for me and sensitivity to who I am, call it a sacred ground. Especially if you have tried your best to tell him, this is what you think, and the person still insists that this is what God said, just leave him and he's God. Don't interfere. Because to his God he stands, you know what I mean? To his God he falls. Now, because of your respect for God, do you get me? Your respect for God, and then leave the rest to the Lord. Now, but one thing I noticed about David, I saw that what do you call it? Baptist, Methodist, fast and pray at all. I know he's a Christian who calls Jesus. We are in the same department. I can never contest against a Christian. I can never do it. If anybody goes to a place to pray and cry on God that he might win an election, and I go to the west to pray, cry on the Lord to win the election, I say, go give him the position. Because we belong to the same body. You can't give me a vision and give it, just give him. Take it. God gave you, carry it. No, take it. Because God has taught me to be sensitive to him and to his body. Anything that will cause people, I can't, this is a public gathering, I can't tell you how many things I have lost, in quote, in this world simply because if I take it, people will wonder, are these not Christians? Is this not a man of God? Why should he be fighting like this? I mean, if you hear me that I'm fighting at my workplace or fighting with my family members because of something, you ask me, this is a man who is going to heaven. Why is he crying because of car or bicycle or money? How should he believe to himself like that? When he says he serves the God that gives everything in the world. That is to be sensitive about the glory of God. Then I'll just say one more. I can't answer the other question because time is gone. So next week, I will take that question. Turn to Timothy, 1 Timothy, first page. Are you there? Look at it. Oh. All of you read what is here. The first word, read it. No, not that one. Not, I didn't say verse 1. Let one person give somebody a microphone to come and stand by me doing social distance. Carry your Bible. Preferably someone with a yes, come. Yes, stay there. I want us to read together. 1 Timothy. See, what I want you to read is this one. Look at it, just here. This one here. No, don't go for this one here. You get it? All right. Read it out.
The first epistle of Paul to Timothy.
Go on. No, read it in your Bible. Because you may think that I changed it. You may think I changed it. Read it loud.
The first epistle of Paul, the apostle to Timothy.
Now move to the second one.
The second epistle of Paul, the apostle to Timothy.
Then move to the third one, Titus. Read it fast.
The epistle of Paul to Titus.
Then go again to Philemon.
The epistle of Paul to Philemon.
Now move on to Thessalonians. If you want to put your name, they put your name in case you are jealous. First Thessalonians, read it again.
Sorry.
We can give you another glasses.
I go back.
Yes. Even any of the Paul's writing, go on, you got it. Yes.
The first epistle of Paul to the Thessalonians.
Thank you very much. Sit down. Clap for him. When somebody talks about the spirit of the pastor, and somebody says, no, don't talk about the spirit, it's the liver we want, or the lungs. Look, not everybody in this world is called at the same level. Everything we have read, the epistle of what? Of Paul to Thessalonians. The epistle of Paul to what? Titus. These are people that God has given a message to the world. And there are many great people. People were saying that Apollos, in fact, biblical scholar says he was more knowledgeable than Paul. He was a massive orator. In fact, people are even believing that he was the one that wrote the book of Hebrews. He was so powerful that people had to say, look, I'm for Apollos. Some say I'm for Paul. Some say I'm for Cephas. But does he have an epistle by Apollos? When we were doing this period of waiting on the Lord said, I want you to create Greg Rabble network. I said, no, why not? Why? I said, spokesman, he said, no. And then later he now told me, so that anyone who is coming to join in this ministry will not say, I am serving God, I am serving pastor. This person is working for church. This person is working for pastor. that by doing so they have weakened your hands and they have not allowed you to achieve your mission. You bent over backwards to bring them up. Rather than for them to rise to support you to build, they think that you were building them for their selfishness. Now create a network and do what I've called you. You see, the issue here is this. God rises men. I don't want to mention names I've seen in this life. I can count only a few. There are so many pastors, so many preachers all over the world. But very few are giving certain apostolistic message for their generation. But I'm sure that this church has been given a message by God to communicate divine truth and bring hope to our generation, and then to bring the God agenda to the secular world. I know that it's a mission, and that anyone that is going to be in this mission must see that as standing with the pastor. Not that the pastor is preaching too much, the pastor is shining too much. When will I shine? Throughout this month, have I spoken on Thursday or Tuesday? I have never felt a sense of inferiority. I have never said, oh, don't let that man preach too much so that I can. No. I have a message. And let me tell you, this message is not common. I've read the Bible many times. I've listened to 1,001 preachers in the world. Then I came to a conclusion after refusing that what God has given me is peculiar for my times. I received two messages. One from a professor in Sheffield. Another one from this. Because I sent them, I hope. I was thinking they would, it's from. And he said, thank you so much. I didn't expect the person to even write that in that forum. For these daily nuggets you send us every day. Then somebody will now say, when will you write your own?